G'day everyone and welcome to a very special edition of Coast to Coast. We've got an amazing episode in store, a couple of great men, but before we get there, fellow co-host and up-and-coming gun of the comp, Oscar Allen.
Thumper.
We're in a different room and it's kind of the big time. This is the G under lights.
We are, mate. Something different's going on today and I'm looking forward to seeing how we go.
So you should, barely slept. Let's start with a bit of club royalty. We've brought him back, 166-game player. He's the 2014 main wearing medalist, which is an award I absolutely adore. Father of two, Mad Dog, Sam Butler. How you going?
Fantastic. So good to be back. And what a long, far way you guys have come. From what we used to do this podcast to now, as you say, under lights of the MCG. Very exciting.
Mate, a lot of ex-teammates of JK's we could have got in, you know. Waters, Cox, Carey wouldn't be doing much.
It'd be hard to get him. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Good. Honoured.
Honoured's the word, I think.
Honoured, absolutely. Yeah. Well, when you first brought it up, the idea, my first question was, is this a toast or is it a roast? And you said, bit of both. So I said, I'm the man.
Yeah.
I'm uniquely qualified for that role. So I'm very happy to be here. It should be a good episode, I think.
Let's get to it. It's one of the AFL's greats, a club favourite, an outstanding career that he's calling time on, 7-time leading goal kicker, 3-time All-Australian, couple of Colemans, 2-time premiership player and life member of the footy club. Cracking bloke. Welcome Josh Kennedy to the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Have you won two premierships?
Yeah, NZ Cup 2007 pre-season with Carlton.
Wow.
Wizard Cup, sorry.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you...
2007.
So that wasn't a faux pas. You actually are referencing that.
Come on. And haven't I got you to hook, line and sinker?
I saw it in the notes and I thought to myself, I hope he reads that. Because that is absolutely false.
Thanks for helping me out there, teammate. You're doing well.
Wow. Yeah, congrats, man.
Yeah, we won the pre-season premiership, come through, and then we finished last that year. So, yeah, we probably partied like we won a proper flag. But,
Did you beat West Coast in the granny?
No, that was the year before.
Oh, you'd 2-time back-to-back Carlton.
No, I didn't play in that one.
No, that's all right.
Or 2 years, I think it was the year before, the year I got drafted, they won that one, right. So yeah.
What have you been doing, mate? So this is your day off. You've come in to take part in this extravaganza. What would you have been doing and what were you maybe up to this morning?
No, just waking up, chilling with the kids, getting them off to school and daycare.
You had an assembly today, mate. I'm bridging to the story of going to see Lottie perform, was it?
Sorry. Yes, the assembly, we had, it's NAIDOC week, or it's been NAIDOC week, sorry, and they, the kids obviously come through and they sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in Noongar, which was fantastic. So Lottie's been practicing all week. And then I think they also sung another song in Noongar, and then they had all the animals coming through and, obviously in the Indigenous language. So it was a great week, obviously, for them. And Lottie nailed it. She's pretty particular. She has to have everything perfect. So she was belting it out pretty loud.
Really? A bit OCD?
She's a little bit OCD. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know where she gets it from.
Yeah, she's got two hippie parents. I don't know. She's got completely against the curve for that.
Before we get to the great man, Oz, I saw Sam Butler's got a fan West Coast Eagles page, which I just read out for...
You do? What do you mean?
It's called Eagles fandom page. I don't know. It's got some info on you.
Sam Butler fan club?
Not really.
Is that where we're going with
Take
this?
it back a bit.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Ben McKinley's got a page, so...
Wolfeyes.
So it says on there, it had a few things I wanted to bring up.
It's a coverall.
It just, and it's some stuff in there. I'm like, right, and it says you're a part...
He probably runs it.
Yeah. Says you're a part of the West Coast Marketing Department. You're not anymore though, are you?
I'm not, no.
That
what I was though, so it's not factually incorrect, just not up to date.
Were you booted out for your implementation of the no banner? Is that why you got booted out of the marketing?
I don't know if I want to roll with this because...
Should we get it off then?
It's a very...
Off camera, do we want to not bring this up?
No, I'm fine.
All right, go on.
I want to bring it up.
All right.
But I don't want to be solely responsible. There was a collective. Was I part of that collective decision? Yes.
Does JK and Oz know about this?
Yeah, at what stage did you think it'd be a good idea to get rid of the banner? First game, a lot of guys, 100th game, 150 milestone games. There's now no celebration of it for players running out.
So milestone games, we still have banners? No. None at all.
No, only away games.
You killed it.
The original concept was, do we need a banner? We've got a fresh stadium. We can create our own identity. We're not beholden to those people on the East Coast and the way they do things. Let's start our own thing. But with a nod to the tradition and to the people that play their milestone games, maybe we should keep it for important occasions. And for away games, we still have them, right, in Melbourne?
We have them in away games, yes. Yeah.
So is it hitting all the marks right now? Maybe not. Is the concept good? I think.
And the other week we had blue. You probably didn't see it. They had blue paint or blue mist get projected out You think that
You're coming out Smurfs.
You think they'd have it that way?
Yeah.
It was definitely in this way. And then like Tommy Barras is blue.
Right.
Literally blew up in his face.
Yeah. There's one thing you're missing from all this. As soon as I stopped playing, I did not care about you guys anymore. It's about the fans and marketing and how many dollars we're bringing in. If you're coughing on the way through it, so be it.
Who's running out last now? It's when you go. What's the hierarchy look like?
Well, generally it's Yowie in front of me. That's if he keeps playing. He's just never playing. But Liam Duggan, he's always around at the back there as well. So it's out of them two to kind of nut it out.
Was that a decision you ever made? Like, were you always, when you played, I'm always going to be last, or was it something that just happened naturally? Like, was there someone, maybe Glass, who was at the back and you had to wait for him, or...
It's a very good question.
Yeah, how did it come about?
So, Butsy used to be at the back.
Yeah,
Yes,
nice.
yeah, and ended up wanting to pull rank, but I didn't have that, so it kind of transitioned from when Butsy left.
Yeah. Ashley Sampi always ran out last before me.
Yeah.
So I was second to last. And when he left, great guy, silver lining, I get to go last. Yeah. Will Schofield was also a last runner-outerer.
That's right.
So it was me last, then Joshy, then Will, or the other way around? Whatever. But then when I left, it went on to Kenners, and now he passes the baton on to...
You're going to have to pick someone.
I think that's going to be... Well, I think Yoey's usually the one. He always pushes Duggo in front, so it's going to have to be Yoey, unless you want it, mate.
Nah, I don't want it.
understands.
I like being at the front, mate. I like cameras.
I hope he understands the history.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably have to sit down with him, yeah. Yoey never listens
Pass the
when
baton.
you talk to him, so...
That's a good point.
He probably won't.
I pass him.
I should just give him Duggo.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Butsy, do you know where JK was born? Just a quick one.
Born in Canberra.
No. Melbourne,
Born
mate.
in Melbourne.
Melbourne, mate. A fellow outsider like yourself.
This is why I figure you two got along, is because you're the imposters of the state.
What, because no one else is born in Melbourne?
Canberra,
It's actually a capital of
What is it?
Nothing.
Victoria.
Capital of Australia.
I was going to say it's a capital city of a state. What do you mean, outsider?
I don't know. Well, he's certainly
Outsider from WA.
almost pretending to be West Australian.
I'm a sandgroper.
Wow, debatable.
Mate, I lived in Victoria for 3 months. I was there for 3 months.
I just want to see the birth certificate, really. That's all I want to see.
Well, the birth certificate says East Melbourne.
Is it shameful that you were born in Melbourne?
No, of course not.
A little bit.
Of course not. No, it's not.
The only other thing I picked up from the chat he did at the new back chat, with Scully, OG Scully, was that his dad worked for Coke and his stepmum worked for Peters, which is astounding that he's ended up, looking like the way he does.
Streets ice cream, yeah.
You were a fat kid though, right? I've seen pictures.
No.
You weren't a svelte, athletic kid running around Geraldton.
No, you gave me a complex when I first came over here. You did. I got traded over here. I come into the pool area for the first day. And I'm looking around. And I was like, wow, these guys are full professional. Rigs out, they all love it. And then I get out, and then one of the first days he says, mate, you're a bit overweight. Like, what have you been doing this offseason?
First day?
One of the first days.
Mate, can I tell you my very first time I saw Josh Kennedy?
Yeah, go on.
So, I'm sure we're going to get into this later in the podcast, but we lose, I don't know if you've heard of him, a guy called Chris Judd. Leaves, adored by West Coast players and fans alike. Captain of the club at 21 years of age, premiership captain, Brownlow medalist. Let's not go into it too far. Just know that we didn't really want to lose him. We got this new kid that people are saying he's a bit of a rooster. He's tall, he's athletic. We might have done all right. It might have done all right. We're never going to replace Juddy, but we might have done all right. I'm sitting in the rehab room or somewhere at the club.
You would be there.
Yeah, icing up something on the floor. And this fat kid walks past.
Mate.
Who I'm assuming is coming in as a new massage therapist or something. He looks like he's got strong hands. I like the cut of his jib. This is good. He's got a small head with a really flabby arms. And someone goes, oh, that's a new Juddy. I'm like, are you serious? What? Athletic rooster. He's not ticking any boxes of how he's been promoted to us. So already already you're coming in at not the bottom of the tree, but with expectations on you, and your presentation when you first came did not help that.
Yeah, did it drop your expectation, mate?
Did it drop? Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to do too much.
I can't remember being honest with you about it. I thought I just told it behind your back the whole time. Yeah.
Talk about what we discussed earlier about the work rate of the great man and how he built it up. I think this is the appropriate time, coming off calling him fat early doors, is a way to like compliment sandwich it. You know?
Yeah, fair. So, fortunately for him, first impressions didn't last. I think, this is the toast, maybe the toast part of the podcast, but we all know Joshy's on-field exploits. I think most people realise how good of a leader he is. For me, the superpower that Joshy has is just work rate. And because I was thinking about this podcast, and I thought, when I think about you and how you've had such a long career, I always think about the work and effort you've put in pre-seasons.
Thanks, mate. Getting deep there.
Yeah, and I thought I've been lucky enough, especially those early days. I trained with some of the hardest trainers I've ever seen: Ben Cousins, Chris Judd, Drew Banfield, Rowan Jones, and you'd be right there in that pack. I remember that first pre-season, and they always say, remember when you do 200s or whatever, and people always say, don't save yourself for the last one.
Yeah, you want to finish first in the last one.
Yeah, there's always someone at the last one that takes it on and finishes first, and they think the coaches love them for it. But I remember always, Joshy, there was no saving himself, I suppose, for want of a better word. If we're doing 8 200s, he's got his fastest one's his first one, and he may not even finish the last one.
Yeah, you're just trying to hold on for as long as you can.
And he always looks like a busted ass, and he'd always look like a busted ass in training, but it's because he's pushed himself redlining all the time. So, to be able to have such a long career while you put your body through so much is unbelievable. But to earn respect through hard work rather than performance is, I think we were adopted pretty quick after pre-season started.
I appreciate it.
Is that something you pride yourself on, to go hammer and tong no matter what the session?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Like, I suppose, I don't know where maybe we come from, being in the country, but you always look at, I suppose, your actions and the way you behave and, things you kind of do and how that reflects on other people. And one of the biggest things I've always wanted to do over my career is just have respect for my teammates and have me teammates, one day down the line go, oh, you remember Josh Kennedy? And they go, I love playing with him. So that's always been my biggest drive on how I act or trained or tried to play. And then, you don't get it right all the time, and there's certain things you do and the boys would go, it's a bit off, and then you kind of minimise that and you kind of just try and do, I suppose, the things that the boys love or the teammates love. And part of that was, just busting your ass and going hard. So, it's probably at Carlton, it was a little bit of the before kind of sports science kind of came in and took over. And I remember, Ian Prendergast, Big Barnaby French, these guys we'd play on a Sunday and they'd pull you out of the locker room on a Monday morning and go run 3.2K because that was Princess Park. Like, just straight out. This is before training. This is just like, this was added in your program. So
in a recovery time slot now, day after games.
Yeah, so we would. So now, these days, we play Sunday. We come in at lunchtime, do some screening, maybe get some physio, get some massage.
Not going to have a walk till midday Tuesday.
Do some stretching, ice bins, we'll go home. Whereas, when I was there, these guys just started dragging us along, going like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, we're in for recovery. Yeah, and they go, no, we're going for a run. So, and they would run hard. So I don't know. I think it kind of built from that, and then I kind of tagged along a few times, and then all of a sudden these older blokes would talk to me a lot, and you're kind of like, well, how good's this? I'll keep running. So then every Monday you'd go and you'd run 3.2Ks, knowing that the boys liked it. So
does that lend itself to your argument that you were just born playing in the wrong era? Because you were just made to just put the body through an amazing amount of hurt and not be managed properly, and then you weren't a 200-game multiple All-Australian?
A little bit, yeah. We romanticised those times because we had, the guys you talked about, the guys I spoke about were heavy trainers, mad dogs. And you could push the limits back then because it wasn't so structured, right? But, I don't want to talk about myself, but, mate, the amount of training we did back then, you'd know, was we'd run Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, hard running, and every other day was training. And unfortunately for my very weak hammies, calves, groins, quads, basically every muscle in my body could not handle that. Whereas later in my career, it's more structured. They actually understand the body better, and people are having longer careers because of it, so it's good.
Yeah.
Talking about the start, obviously, first drafted by the Blues. I've got a story here. Apparently you screened Tennis Pagan's first phone call to welcome you to the club. Can you just explain that story for me? And then, I'm not sure how different it is now, but when guys get drafted interstate, you go to host families or they coddle you a bit, look after you. What was it like for you moving over there?
Yeah, so, well, draft day was a lot different to what it is now. It's souped up under lights and it's pretty big. Whereas we were, so Dad worked at Cadbury Sweps, so he had organised just a boardroom at Sweps in Aussie Park to, get some friends and family in there, and obviously still, I think we're on the dial-up network still, so had the projector with the internet on, and the internet, we're just waiting for the internet to load.
Bit of a lag.
Yeah, it was a real big lag. Yeah, we're all sitting around, draft started happening, just pick one, Mark Murphy, pick two, Daisy Thomas came out, and then there was, I think it kind of froze, it just stopped, and we were like, oh, yep, and then, anyway, we're all just chatting, talking, waiting for things to pop up, and I didn't think that I was going to be in the top 10 or whatever, and yeah, I had this phone call, come through a phone, and I was like, oh, I don't know what number that is, so I left it. And then it rang again, and I was like, oh, and then as I've answered it, it's Dennis Pagan. And then on the screen, things popped up from pick 3 down to pick 11. And yeah, my name was at number 4. And so I was like, seeing that, everyone's like, right, I was talking to Dennis, and yeah, it was just saying congratulations and stuff like that. And that was on, it was the Saturday. Yeah, that was the Saturday morning.
Weekend drafts, yeah, they're fine.
Weekend, yeah, Saturday morning. And then pretty much in the conversation was, oh, your flight's booked at 2 o'clock tomorrow. I'll see you in Melbourne tomorrow afternoon.
Wow.
And that was it. So, yep, it was pretty much jump on a plane.
You didn't quash any plans? You weren't in levers areas or about to go on some skating tours around?
No. We just got back from the Gold Coast. Not levers, but just me and a few mates. And then, yeah, we were just at my house that night, had a few beers, and then pretty much rolled into, flying out and get over there. My grandma's over there, which is hence why I was born in Victoria, because my dad and grandma obviously from there.
There to blame, yep.
There to blame, yes. And so I went and lived with grandma for the first 3 months. Me and Paul Bauer. So Paul Bauer got drafted there from Peel, and we lived there for a few months. And then I moved in with my good mate now, Luke Livingston, who took us in.
Beautiful. And obviously, I'm not sure if you did. First question, did you want to be a one-club player? So when you drafted, were you thinking, right, Carlton, this is me. The next however long my career is, I'm going to play for Carlton? Yeah. Was that the mindset you had? And then at what point did you have to go, all right, something's happening here, I'm probably going to have to move? Was that a hard pill to swallow at the time?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. I think, I suppose when you grow up, and it's any football club, I'd refer to growing up in the country or a country footy club, community football in those towns that's the big thing, it's community sport, Friday nights basketball, Saturdays, footy, and it brings the whole town together. So kind of the loyalty and the, I suppose, the belonging that you have at a footy club in country towns is huge. And I suppose going to Carlton, they gave me my first opportunity. I always wanted to be a one-club player, and kind of went through those first 2 years, made some really good friends, really enjoyed Melbourne and everything, and then obviously the trade popped up, which was, which I've told this story many times, but I was in Queensland seeing the old man, and I was coming back that weekend to go up north to Lucky Bay, which is a place on the coast. There's no reception, no power. It's all generator shacks and stuff, bit of a fishing kind of setup, and Juddy had just nominated to go to Carlton. So a few names getting thrown up, Fev's name, my name, all WA people.
Oh, could have had the Fev here.
Fev could have came. Yep, Fev could have came. Lance Whitnell, he was getting thrown up as well. So
we've done well to avoid Lance.
Anyway, so I rolled into that week where my manager kind of went, hey, wouldn't mind you being contactable this weekend. And I said, there's no reception. He's like, you got a satellite phone or something because I need to. And so my mate had a satellite phone which, he could stand up on top. I don't know if it was the Nokia 1610, but it was something with an aerial that we were able to stand on top of the shack, and it would ping off if you got a text message or something. So that weekend, every 2 hours, I stood up on top of the shack. No ping, no nothing, no message. So straight back down into fishing, doing what we're doing. And then, Sunday morning it pinged off, and manager said, you need to get down to Geraldton. Woosh wants to call you and organise a time to come and meet the club. So it was.
So did Carlton was the option ever put to you, or was it completely independent of you? Did they ever say to you, would you be willing to, or was it just, we'll let you know if you're going or staying?
Well, back then trade weeks like Monday to Friday, so trade week hadn't started, but it was obviously the clubs were talking, and West Coast and I wish would obviously chuck my name out, and they're probably going through what they need to do to obviously get the best player in the comp. So. Yeah, kind of Sunday, Woosh was in my sister's room at Mum's house talking to Woosh on the phone, and he's telling me to come down on the Tuesday. We'll fly down Tuesday, come through the club. And, I was like, oh, Woosh, I'm not coming.
Not coming to Perth or not coming to West Coast?
No, I said, I don't want to come. I'm going to be a number one club player. I don't want to come to West Coast.
Really?
So don't book your flight. There's no point me coming down. Like, I don't want to. Yeah. And he's like, mate, we just want you to come through the club and stuff. And so what was I? I was 9.
Lucky 19, I didn't see you that day.
20 at the time.
You definitely wouldn't have come.
Well, it's the last time I ever said no to John Westfold. So I'm just letting you know that.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, Woosh convinced me to come down at a flight Tuesday. Talked with Carlton. I suppose then West Coast, Carlton were, don't worry, this deal. I had 2 years on my contract, so this deal's not going to get done. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Really?
Yeah. That was early on in the week. And then I went through the club Tuesday. One of the first blokes I met was Curry, which is, it was,
right.
I was like, wow, Daniel Kerr.
Yeah.
Did he know who you were?
Hey?
Did he think you were a massage therapist?
He probably thought I was a massage therapist until Serge told him, said, hey, this is Josh Kennedy, we might be drafting him instead of Juddy. And I reckon he had the same thing in his head. He's probably going, giving up Juddy for you.
Yeah.
But and went through the facilities. Facilities unbelievable. Pool, gym, physio rooms, everything like that.
So it was far superior to Carlton at the time.
Yeah, well, Princess Park had obviously started. Dickie Pratt had just come on back with Carlton and was going to help build, obviously, Visy Park, so the facilities and stuff like that. But prior to that, that Carlton had gone through some stuff and obviously with a lot of money that they obviously weren't making and weren't being able to pull resources into the club. So, we had showers and there was a bath that got filled up with ice sometimes for recovery. And then I'm sitting there looking over at the 2 big ice bins and spas. I was like, wow, how good's this? And then I suppose the Tuesday, Wednesday rolled through and, I think obviously West Coast wanted me a part of the deal. Carlton didn't, but obviously Juddy, was the best player in the comp. And I think Carlton probably started to realise it because it was my decision because I was contracted. So I could have said no.
Did you know that, Buds? Did you know you're not allowed to be traded without your consent in the AFL? It's not like the American sport.
Yeah, I didn't know he still had 2 years left on his contract.
I'd just been offered 2 years at Carlton.
Right.
So signed, done.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had another 2 years.
Right.
So.
I don't want to stay on this forever, but with those couple of days that you came down and met Woosher and Serge and the team, was there any conversation that made you start changing mind, or was it just because we had spars?
Pretty much was Osmonds. No, it was. I think everyone was nice. Like Serge, from everyone at the club, Woosh to.
It's got a good vibe.
Yeah, good vibe. And it probably wasn't towards the back end of the week where he started to do some pros and cons, obviously, and look, Rats was kind of the caretaker coach at the time, or he just taken over from Dennis, and Rats was my forwards coach at Carlton as well, so we had a good relationship, and like I said, I think it got to a point where Carlton started to get a little bit worried that they weren't going to get Juddy because I was going to say no, and then kind of the conversation shifted a bit towards probably would like the opportunity if you go to West, you go back home, closer to family and stuff like that. And it was kind of the point I realised, the AFL is a business. It's a meat market, we're the cattle, and it's all part of it, which is, good to learn back then. A lot different to country footy and the loyalty that you can have. But look, it was the pros and cons, sat down with manager. The biggest reason was my mum's 4 hours up the road. Yeah. Little sisters were, they would have been like young, 7 and 8 or 8 at the time. So they were young. I was able to see them grow up. All my mates were either in Perth or either studying or working. So West Coast was winning as well. Carlton had lost a few games. So I'd won a wooden spoon already. Right. And you guys had just come off, 2 grand finals and just lost a prelim, I think, at 2007.
Then we dipped when you came.
So I was thinking it was going to be good, and then we end up winning another wooden spoon 2 years later. So I thought I was a curse. But there was pretty much those decisions of coming back closer to family was the big one. yeah, I thought it'd be a great opportunity. Yeah.
I've spoken to you a little bit about how coaching has changed from when you started, and you spoke a little bit about it, but between Pagan to coming over and having a relationship with Whoosh, and then by the time Whoosh left and Simo was the coach, you're already an established player.
Yep.
So what was that like? As you've got a really good relationship with a coach,
Yep.
You're an established player, you're a leader at the football club,
Yep.
New guy comes in, do we start again, or how does that work in the football
The
club?
transition from Whoosh to Simo.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it was hard, I had Dennis for a couple of years and, very old school coach and came into, I suppose, Whoosh, who was very discipline driven, mental toughness and putting in the hard work on the park and you get results. And I'm glad that, I was able to have John Worsfold as a coach because, he really helped set me up as a person and also a player to be able to get to where I wanted to get to. And and then I suppose that transition from Whoosh to Simo, we didn't know much about Adam. He was coming over. We kind of had our first leadership group meeting with Simo and sitting around a table like this. And back then they made the best and fairest 26th of November. You remember that? So we did make finals.
All the way to 26th of November.
So generally what happened is, it was like the week after the season finished. We'd made finals 2011 and then they kind of had to reshuffle the best and fairest to be after the grand final and then we hadn't made finals we made finals 2012 and then 2013 we didn't make finals and so the best and fairest was supposed to be like 4 or 5 weeks into holiday. So they changed it to the 26th of November. Yeah. So pretty much pre-season.
Yeah.
And we're sitting around the table having a conversation about the best and fairest and he goes, I don't think we should drink at the best and fairest.
Simo said that.
Yeah. I don't think
pre-season.
There's a weekend.
Pre-season's underway. We're kind of getting into it. I don't think we drink. I was like, serious? Like, what? Anyway, starts talking about awards and things like that, and obviously things coming up. And he's like, and the goal kicking award. Like, do we really need the goal kicking award?
Oh.
And I'm like,
The two things you love most in the world, kicking goals and beer. And he's
kicking goals and beer. He's just taking it away from me.
Oh,
Straight
bad
up, first
start.
meeting. And I've gone, hit blokes.
Who's this bloke? Yeah.
And anyway, prior to that as well, obviously there's a bit of noise from Victoria that West Coast, head of himself and, there's a few beards going on and stuff like that. It was Masto and Scully had these big beards and slick hair and all that going on.
Slick hair.
So Adam Selwood actually rang me during the pre-season and said, hey, mate, just talking with Simo and stuff, I think Simo wants everyone to shave their beards. And I was like, what? And he's like, just the look of it, everyone's a bit ahead of himself. He just wants to kind of get a clean slate and just, we just need to do hard work and we're not rock stars and stuff. And I was like, how's a beard being a rock star? Anyway, he's like, so it went around.
A woodsman. Yeah.
So we rock up day one pre-season and like Scully and obviously Masto talking, like, you going to shave? I was like, no, I'm not, no one's telling me what I can do, what haircut I need or whatever. Anyway, so Scully and Masto, they crumbed.
Did they?
Scully would have got a mohawk to do it. He's fringing, new coach.
Oh, yeah. He was trying to earn his spot, wasn't he? Yeah. Josh is like, I won the Coleman last year, mate. Drop me. I dare you.
Fine. Yeah.
No.
So Josh asked a question in the fan question, said, would you rather be bald and be able to grow a beard or keep the hair and unable to grow facial hair? If you had to pick one of the two.
I don't know. Probably, I don't want to be bald like Shannon.
There you go. Oh, there's your answer.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
It seems to be over the course of our career, me and Bunga, that his hair's somehow latched onto my face over time.
So you talked about all those coaches, so Woosha, Simo, Dennis Pagan. If you had to organise like a retreat, all four of you going on like a weekend away somewhere, and you had to organise the activities that you're doing, what are you teeing up that you reckon everyone's going to enjoy? So a bit about how their personalities fit. Like Woosha probably wants to do a marathon.
What
are you doing?
I would organise to go to the races for Dennis Pagan. He loves his races, loves the punt. Yeah. So it'd be a race day somewhere. There would be an Ironman or a SAS camp for Whoosh.
Just get a bear and a cage for Woosha.
Well,
say, hey, go for it. You got 2 hours.
I think it would just be some form of a challenge. It would go, look, there's 4 of us. let's have a challenge. Whoosh he'd win every time. Like he just loved having a challenge because he'd know he'd beat us all the time.
Remember when he had the trick of putting warm Gatorade in your drink bottles after like a major summer session?
Oh, yeah.
Just mind bending you hard.
Mental toughness, resilience was obviously his go. Yeah. So, yeah, do you remember that? He did hot Gatorade. So, normal Gatorade station, end of the drill. All right, boys, go. Get over there. And boiling hot Gatorade. So, pour into your cup, have a sip, and then he had a camera set up to review later who complained about it. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Soft, weak. And his whole thing was, it's giving you the same fluids no matter what it is. Stop complaining about it. It's giving you what you need. Get it back. And we do stuff like that all the time. We did a beep test before a pre-season game one year.
What?
Mate, I remember walking off one of, I don't know, it was early days sessions. We were training at Claremont in pre-season. And I'm walking off. He said, how was your session? I was like, oh, it was all right. He goes, yeah, you worked a bit hard. He goes, I want you to wrestle Brent Staker. I was like...
Walking off.
I was like, what? He's like, I want you to wrestle Brent Staker. Don't let him beat you. And I was like, I'm looking around and like Stakes is just sitting there talking, you know, he's just finished his session, it was a hard session. And I was like, oh, no. He's like, what's wrong with you? Like, just go and wrestle him. And I was like, oh my God, go and wrestle Brent Stakes.
Did Stakes know it was coming?
No,
has he been worded up?
No, hasn't been worded up. Start wrestling him. Stakes has flipped me around as Stakes is a big, strong boy.
He's one of the greatest athletes that's ever come through the club, by the way. Like, this is a hard guy to
I'm
wrestle.
drilled on the ground. And I was like, oh, he's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, Bush told me to wrestle you. He's like, oh. Anyway, I get up, I walk off, and then Bush goes, well, you didn't beat him. And I was like, yeah, no. He goes, go and do it again. I was like, oh my God. So I do it again.
Did you do any better?
No. No. Stakes smashed me. And then Simo, don't know. Simo doesn't like talking to people, so I'd probably go to one of those silence retreats. I reckon he just loved being silent.
His AirPods.
Put his phone away. Just doesn't have to talk to anyone.
All right, let's pivot a little bit. I'm sure we'll pick up the later half of the footy career later on, but let's look under the hood of Joshy the man. Now, as I already mentioned, you're a hippie.
Oh, I would define hippie.
Next year, you won't wear shoes and you wear hemp shorts everywhere.
No.
And your beard will be massive. That's how I define hippie, and that's who you'll be next year.
Stereotyping.
That's true, yeah. Good point. It's a mindset thing.
Yeah, okay.
And you're also a fad man. So can we talk about some of the fads that you've done in your life? You've been vegetarian before?
Yeah.
You've sworn off alcohol. You've sworn off chocolate. None of these last, by the way.
Yeah.
These are not life decisions. These are, this is who I am, and 6 months later, I don't want to be that person anymore. You're a fad man. It's okay. Own it. This is who you are.
No.
You've done like fish farming in your backyard, veggies.
Butsy, you reckon you had like a little ecosystem going where the fish led to this and, animals, there's a little circle of life going on in Wembley?
Mate, I've always been open to anything, and people, look, there's so much stuff that is on the internet and people try and preach you so much stuff, and I don't know what's true. I actually don't like.
So try everything.
So no, I'm like, well, if someone says that being a vegetarian, you feel better and you're going to be stronger and it's way better for you, I'll go, okay, well, you're telling me that. I'll read some stuff. There's conflicting stuff. I don't know. I'm going to try it. So I tried it for a year. Just went veggie for a year.
Did any of them work?
What do you mean work?
That you wanted to continue saying the veggie stuff's delivering results, or I'm getting pushed aside by my man pretty easily with my lack of meat? I felt better. I didn't feel bloated at all that whole year, so I never had that, we eat too much. It's like, but I really enjoyed eating a steak and having fish, so that's why I didn't stay veggie. And what about the businesses? What were some of the more entertaining ones that you did? Talk about some of your better businesses that you're glad you got involved in that maybe you're no longer with, and some of the ones that didn't quite work, perhaps, that have some funny connotations.
You know how they say you have to lose a grand final to win one? If the same thing in business, you have to lose one to win one. Josh is going to be a billionaire one day. He's lost that many businesses. And one day he's going to...
What are you talking about?
I'm just joking.
No, me and a mate started a trucking business, so we called it Josh Kennedy's Small Moves.
That worked well.
It did, yeah, we sold that.
Yep. So big tick.
Yep, and then we kind of...
Good marketing campaign.
We did. I can't believe I did that.
No, I know. So we're talking about the JK mockumentary. How do you feel when you look back on that now?
I look at it and go like, oh, yeah, that's cool, but like I don't know how you convinced me to do that.
No, because I remember the day that you pulled me up. It was when in the Virgin Lounge coming back from, I think we got belted against someone. You said, Thumper, I want to make a fun video that showcases like my businesses, but I don't want to do an ad.
Yeah.
What do you got for me? I'm like, yeah, sick. Yeah, every company in the world is trying to accomplish this.
I remember reading the script and I was like, there is no one doing this.
I said to you,
absolute idiot.
I said the only way I can make something like that is just to make you look like a proper twat. If you're down for it.
You accomplished that.
Yeah.
I know.
But like the fact that because Gov and Gaffy were in their first couple of years and we convinced them to come over and be a part of it.
Yeah.
And literally the skit was them washing the floors and JK's doing orders and spilling water on it.
Yeah.
Gaffy's licking the water off his face. He's so happy to be hydrated.
We had Gov on this podcast this week and he brought this up.
Oh,
we
really?
asked him about it and he reckons the reason they did it was they were promised JK is going to pay us a large sum of money. And to this day...
I would do it only for that reason, but...
To this day, they haven't seen a cent from it. I've never seen the actual... What is it? The mockumentary or whatever. I've never seen the footage, but I've heard about it.
Discount on a mattress.
Oh, there you go.
15%.
That's 15%.
Yeah.
Because you were an employee of the store, of Sleepy's.
I was.
Yeah, and Coxie was coming in to buy a mattress.
Correct.
He loved that. He enjoyed
I
being
would
a part
actually
of it.
really like to see that. It's been a long time since...
The kids' mattress. Yeah, he walked in.
Yeah, love it. What about the goji berry with Matt Prittis?
Oh, that's... Yeah, I know. Should we talk about Free Life?
Should we talk about that? What's it called?
Doesn't sound like it.
Free Life.
Free Life. So Josh Kennedy, I'm first year at the club. Josh Kennedy and Matt Prittis have said, Thumper, we want to talk to you about a business opportunity. This could have been Nazi paraphernalia and selling it. I was in. Josh Kennedy and Matt Prittis have got a business opportunity for me. I'll commit crime, whatever. And then like they're talking to me about what this is, and it's like, have you ever heard of the goji berry? I'm like, absolutely not, but tell me more. Brad Smith is in this meeting as well, so it's me and Smithy. And Smithy's just giving it very little attention, like, what is this, boys? And I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah.
And it's basically a pyramid scheme, but they didn't say it in on certain terms.
Yeah.
And we want you to be a part of it. And I was thinking, this is so sweet and sour. Like, I'm so excited to be, joining this franchise, but I really don't want to be selling goji berries to people I know. What do I do?
They're a superfood, goji berries.
They are superfood.
They're awesome for you.
Oh, so you've had the picture as well?
Yeah, he's given it to me last week. Yeah, it's still going.
No, we did that for about a year, I think. It was, Well, it's just in that time, it was like you're trying to learn business and understand, we can make some money through this, but then you realise like you're making money on other people selling stuff, and you got to that's a pyramid scheme. Yeah. So I didn't know what one was until you do it.
Exactly.
You learn from it.
We all learned, didn't we?
You learn from it.
All right, that's it for the businesses. Anything else you want to plug? Like anything else that's going good that you want people to know about? This is a chance. This will get some views.
Does it? How many views you get?
I don't know.
Oh, mate. Hundreds. My mum listens to it on repeat throughout the week.
Anything you want to plug?
Oh, well, if you're talking about transitioning out of footy, I've got a labour hire business that I'll be transitioning into. That'll be my job.
What did you say, sorry?
I've got a labour hire business.
Right.
OCCWA, yes.
OCCWA.
Yes, blue collar. So, yes, anyway, so we there's a bit of a skill shortage, especially in WA at the moment around Australia. But yeah, look, we've Luke Livingston, who I said, who kind of took me in for the 2 years at Carlton. He had obviously the OCC over in Victoria, and he wanted to branch to WA, and so I'm getting involved with that, and we built it up, and that's what I'll transition into post footy.
Mint. You won't hear it, but I put the sound effect in from Pink Floyd, Money, the song Money. You know that song? No. So I play that when there's a plug. You wouldn't know that now. These are the upgrades of the show that you're not a part of anymore.
Wow.
I listen all the time. I know exactly what you're
You're a
talking
big fan.
No one does, right? You've met a lot of people through footy. I'm not saying who's the best player you've met through the West Coast Eagles or Carlton, but is there someone that is just eye-catching that you remember? So one day you'll just be sitting back at home having a beer and thinking, I remember this bloke. He was weird, or he was the funniest bloke in the room. Who is a person you'll probably take away remembering the most from footy?
Well, I reckon when you ask those questions, like there's guys that you'll remember forever because they've been so much a part of your career. But then there's also guys who have just come in and out.
Yeah, just a glimpse.
But you'll remember them forever just because of the funny things they've obviously done. So,
Like Cullen Paper Talk.
I was just about to say. Callum. Callum, yes. So Callum's obviously from Midwest. He's from up home. I know his parents really well, his mum Lenny, and he obviously is very skillful. It came in and just so raw as a young kid, and I just remember them having to go through the team. Remember the poster? Because he kept calling like Walshy, Kempy, and he kept calling Burnsy, Walshy.
I got Burnsy's name.
They couldn't get their names right, the coaches.
Yes, this is after a pre-season. And
Burnsy would have told him 50 times he's not Billy.
my God.
He just kept going.
It was funny. So we worked through a fair bit of stuff, but then with Callum, he had kick in. He had a kick in one time in the waffle, and instead of kicking it to you, had to kick yourself. I think he just ran off and just handballed it. You remember that? And it was we all laugh about it, but it's like just little funny things like that. I'll remember Callum for
Great guy.
Yeah.
What about some of your favourite sort of footy activities? So whether it be within training, when you start training, I've seen you guys like have games where then you have to lie on the ground with your head facing the group and you're rolling footies as punishment when you lose the game. At North Beach, we do footy golf before training. Yep. So we'd that's that bin 300 metres away is the hole.
Yep.
However many kicks it takes to get it, and we move on to the next hole. What was one of your favourite activities you might start up with a teammate or over the 13 or 17 years, however long you've been playing?
We used to have a basketball in the pool, which we used to do headers on.
At Subi.
Yeah, and
That got intense.
we've got the record. I think I don't know if I've got the record for two people, but we had three. There was you, me.
Three-man record.
You, me and Scotty?
102 or something, was it?
It was a record, yeah. We had the record for three people. Keeping the ball up, just using, obviously...
Over 100.
That's so. So there's a
We spent a
leaderboard.
lot of time doing it, by the way. I get headache. I'll go home with a thumping headache every day.
There was a leaderboard in the Subi, might be in the gym, and it was like bench press, 10K time trial on the bike, 200 metre sprint, three-man header. And I remember for years, what is this? Everything's great athletic achievements. Three-man header, 102. I was like, what the hell is this?
That was still there. That's fantastic.
That was probably one of the highlights. Great recovery.
Great recovery. Well, if you talk about how long do you guys do recovery? Hour and a half. Me and JK had three. I don't want to make this about me, but we had three traditions. Three traditions that we'd always do together. We'd always kick together before the game. So in the warm-up or in training, when we do pairs kicking, we'd always kick together. Every away game, we'd always go down to if we were in Melbourne, we'd go down to St Kilda Beach, or if we're in Hobart, we'd go into the freaking Derwent River and do ice bars.
That was the worst.
Do you let other people come, or is it just a bromance?
People can come if they want, but they didn't. And the other one is we always watched Vampire Diaries the night before a game on the weekend.
No way.
We did.
That is not true.
Not forever, but it lasted probably 3 or 4 years.
Too long.
Yeah, we had
Whose room do you go to? You go to JK's or you would have had the nice corner room with the suite.
But guess what? We're in the bed, sometimes under the cover. Sometimes under the covers, computer on 2 or 3, otherwise we get too excited. 2 or 3 episodes, otherwise we wouldn't be able to sleep. Vampire Diaries, because it'd be 2 weeks in between.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what's happening. It's bad.
This is elite. It was amazing.
It's elite.
I do love the story. This isn't even on the script, where JK told me, spoiler alert for anyone that plans to watch it, when Game of Thrones was peaking off its nanas and JK was watching it with Lauren, but he was just too wrapped up in the story, and he'd go on away trips. He's like, I need to know what's going on. And he binge watched an entire season. And spoiler, it just so happened to be the Red Wedding season. So he's watched
Season
it
3.
and the finale, and JK's had the time of his life alone in Melbourne or wherever, and then it's all dawned on him. Oh no, what am I going to do now? So then he's had to go back home and re-watch it with Lauren and not tell her the entire time and not say that I know, and basically kept his composure until the very end. Last scene happened, she's turned to him and goes, I've seen all that. Oh! And she praised him, said, your acting job was amazing.
Great honesty.
And it was props.
Yeah. Why go all through the acting if I suppose that she gets the enjoyment of it as well, and you're honest. That's a win-win.
Yeah, she did have a pet hate of when we started watching something, and then I'd go on away trips and I'd come back and I've seen this, just catch up.
Sounds like you've done that a lot.
Yes.
What about least favourite, activity pre-season or whatnot? Thing that you're not going to miss at all when you go. So is it the 2K or is it the Barbarian drill? Was that one of the worst of all time?
Barbarian drill was the hammer time. The hammer time drills where it's 5-on-5 just up and back, like the whole length of the oval. Don't know, it's interesting because all these things that you hate doing, I talked to this great man here and he goes, they're the things he misses. So, and I feel like You will, because you do, like at the end of them, there's so much satisfaction from what you've put out, I suppose, and then, I don't know if I'll be sitting in the office with my general manager and we'll be like, oh, one-on-one. Do you want to go? Like, I don't think we'll ever get that. So, the barbarian drill was always, no, I actually quite like those ones. Probably even just meetings, like the meetings.
Too many meetings.
We used to have meetings about meetings. Remember that? Remember we had a meeting.
You're going to the real world. There's more meetings.
I know. Well, this is what I was talking about. I'm probably going to hate this in the real world, but we used to have meetings about how the meeting would run.
Yeah.
That was pretty heavy.
Especially, obviously, you're in a leadership group for a long time. All you're basically doing is having meetings about how this meeting went.
How this meeting's going to go, yeah.
But I found that, as to Josh's point, you always think you're going to miss the camaraderie, teammates, day to day. But you still have friends after footy's finished.
Some of us.
You will have interaction. Yeah, some of us. Yeah, not me. But so you can replicate certain things. You can still keep fit. You can still play some sport if you want. But those kind of things, when you're really in the fire with your teammates, as much as you may not like them at the time, it's very hard to replicate, especially game day. Obviously, the number one is game day, especially finals. You miss that. And for the day-to-day stuff, those kind of things.
The nervousness of the 2Kr is probably something, and doing the 2Kr. But then I don't reckon I'll miss that. I'll miss getting in, being around that nervousness and doing that. But it's probably the second 2K, the 2Kr after the second.
Is that the one you just ran with easy on grass?
Yeah.
With no one around?
Did I tell you about one day I ran it and Wheels, Kyle Wheeler, I think he stuffed up the times on when you're supposed to start. So I think it was like you do a 2Kr and then you leave on 12 minutes. Is that what it is? It was.
Yeah.
Have you ever done two 2Ks?
Two 2Ks?
Yes. This one.
No. God, no.
I don't try hard nowadays.
No. Yeah, we do one.
We used to do two 2Ks. You do a 2K.
Back to back?
Yes, and then on the 12 minutes, you leave for the second 2Kr. And then
This wasn't always predetermined either.
And if you didn't get
Hey, guess what? Yeah. We're going again, boys.
Right, so you still run.
So you finish and you sit there and go.
You're not going 90% knowing you got another one. You're balls to the wall.
You're not going, hey, I'm going to go 7 minutes so I can do another 7 minute.
No.
Get your time, and then maybe it, or they might go, you got to go again, and you've got to be within 30 seconds or you're screwed.
And I felt bad because I knew, and I was the cameraman, and they were like, don't tell a player. I was like, oh, this would be handy info. Like, some of them would really want to know.
Oh, mate, how you didn't sneak me that info is
Yeah. Anyway,
friendship over.
I did because of my feet stuff. I used to do it on grass, so Easy used to do it. But I did it on grass with Wheels one time because I don't think Easy was training. So I've done the 2K, going, hey, you got to do another one, sorry, because everyone's doing two. And I was like, so he was like, right, we got to leave on the 9 minute mark. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah, sweet. I was like, that sounds really fast.
2 minutes rest, 2.5 minutes
I've
rest.
just done this in like 6:40 or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not even 3 minutes rest. Anyway, I was like, oh, whatever. Started going, and he's like, right, you got to get in 30 seconds of your time. So you got to be in like 7:10 or whatever. And so first lap, just a little bit off pace, pick it up. And he's like, oh mate, we're blowing out to about 7:50 now, so just pick it up. Third lap was like, hey mate, we've just like he's running beside me, going like, we just got.
We're going backwards.
8 minute mark. Need to pick it up, and I'm like, and I was like struggling. Like I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Got around, and he's like, mate, we've just blown out 9 minutes 30. You okay? And I was like, I couldn't even talk. Finish it. I don't even know what to run. I think he just clicked time off.
Yeah.
He's like, oh mate, you struggled a bit, and then he just clicked. He's going, supposed to leave on the 12 minutes.
Oh my God.
I was like,
Stitch up.
2Ks on grass. So for those who don't know, we do 2Ks on track now. So I've only ever done 2Ks on track except 1 year. 1 year I had a sore knee, and they were like, mate, you do it on grass and you do it with Jamie Cripps. And I was like, oh, easy. Like, I've been in the club for 12 months, didn't know I was a good runner. And it was out at Mineral Resources out there, and it was 4 laps. 4 laps and then a 100-metre sprint, and that was 2Ks. And I was like, I'll keep up with Cripper. So first one, we go out. I'm not knowing Cripper's a great runner. Go out. First lap, matched him, shoulder to shoulder with him. Second lap, I'm like 20 metres behind him. Like, I'm going okay here. Third lap, he laps me on the fourth. Laps me on the fourth as we're doing that final 100-metre sprint. He's run a 6:10 on grass. I've come through in a 7:30 and got into the room. And you know how this might be me being cringe, but when you're a young player, you've got inspirational stuff on your locker, and you're like, I'll do this, like quotes, self-affirmation. And then like I remember I had a quote and like I just wrote it up there afterwards and stuck it in there. It's like, you are not working hard enough. And then like wrote Jamie Cripps' number underneath, 15. Like every time you look at that, this guy embarrassed you.
Motivation.
Oh mate, those grass 2Ks are the hardest things you ever do.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Just to put it in context, the grass, at least 30 seconds you add on to the time. So Joshy running those kind of times, like my best ever was like 6:20 something, 6:24, 6:26. Joshy would have been easily in top 10, some top 5 at your best runner at his size. Like, to my point before, it's unbelievable.
What was your quickest run?
I think it was in the 20s, 6:20 something.
6:20. What was yours?
I did 6:24 this pre-season.
Is that your quickest ever?
Yeah.
6:24. Have you ever done one?
I feel like you're building up to something.
Is that your quickest?
6:11.
6:11, yeah, which is unbelievable, really, for a tall.
So you got a bit to work on.
Well, I've always thought like I was a good runner, and then I get here, and obviously I don't. You're not running him like you used to nowadays. Like even when you're doing it, it's just like ticking a box. And remember this year I came up to you and I was like, 10-second PB this year. He's like, yeah. My best is 6:11, and JD's ran a 6:13. You're still 15 seconds behind us, and it was just like, right, like nothing I can ever do will ever be good enough.
Something to strive for, mate.
Yeah, always a bigger goal.
All right, we'll get to the second half of the career, but in between there, so early on, another thing that we did together was footy trips.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure it was born out of my love for peer pressuring people and your love for beer.
Yes, definitely.
And we were hanging out together early, and we thought West Coast hasn't had it for a long time.
Yep.
They're slowly dying out. You know, you can't really. Footballs are paid really well. It's really hard to raise money for whatever reason for a footy trip, right? It's not a great look, and it probably shouldn't be done.
No.
But there's young kids that come through, they don't have money that the senior players have, so we're like, all right, let's organise something. We need to try and work out how we're going to raise money, how we're going to actually set up this whole thing. So our genius brains, I'll ask you about it, but the whole story is we went to the club and we had to present
A business case.
of the Unity Camp.
What year are we talking?
So we're struggling.
Oh, wait.
We're going downhill.
Yeah.
Hey.
Like footy trip should be the last of your worries.
This is the last thing that we should be doing, getting on more piss after the 2 or 3 years we've just had. But present to board Nizzy, this is how we come together.
Were you leading it?
Yeah.
What, with Nizzy, not even like whoosh, you're going straight to Nizzy.
Straight to the big dog.
Oh, nah.
Unity Camp. People coming over, fully sanctioned. We're going it. Then the peer pressure side comes in. We're getting unbelievable numbers, 38, 40 people coming to.
Well, that was the main objective, to get everyone to go.
Correct. Yeah. So tell us about footy trips, your legacy on that side.
Yeah, well, I suppose we started talking that first year, and coming from Carlton, David Teague had run the last couple, and I think he might have got that from North in how they ran their footy trips and stuff, and it just seemed to be this big thing, you know. Everyone gets a singlet, you know, there's games and everything, and yeah, so we ended up getting, where'd we go? Hong Kong. Hong Kong was the first one?
Yeah.
Hong Kong, yeah. And and then we couldn't do it every year, so we did it every second year, didn't we? And
You didn't want to shoot the moon for your presentation, to say every couple of years.
Well, we're worried that if you do it every year, people will drop off. I'll go next year. Right. But when you finish a footy trip, you finish, and inevitably you're thinking, I'm never going on one of those again. I'm so stuffed. I'm buggered. I need to sleep for next week. I'm never going on a footy trip. But 1 year down the track, you only think about the good things. I can't wait for a footy trip next year. Oh, but if you do it every year, you slowly go from 40 people to 20 people to 10 people, right?
yeah, and that was the main objective. We just wanted to we wanted everyone to come, get everyone together, and Unity Camp, obviously, what it is. So, yeah, and then you got to pick your place as well. So you can't go to Las Vegas, or you can't go to America because you need to be 21. So a few of our guys are 18, 19. So, yeah, we're obviously navigating our way through where to go, what places to go. Hong Kong was the first one. It was. You know, one thing I remember about Hong Kong was whatever that bar was, the Hound Dog Bar or the
Bulldog Bar.
The Bulldog Bar. But it was like in, obviously, Hong Kong and the way they're set up, it's like on a level of a lifts, you know, lifts come up and they open up and there's this bar. So we had this whole place to ourselves, and we'd obviously had a few drinks and everything, and then someone on the DJ had Peter Garrett Midnight Oil.
Yeah.
So Scully just gets his shirt off and just starts like dancing like Peter Garrett. And so everyone just started doing that. So there was like, you know, everyone's just going nuts. Like the whole 35 of us were acting like Peter Garrett, Midnight Oil, like dancing in this place. And I just remember like looking over, like laughing, having fun, and look over, and like this family, like this lift just goes like this, opens up, and this guy's going to get out with his family, and he's gone. He stepped back in, and he's like doing this song, and the door's just shut. Oh man, it was one of the funniest moments I reckon on footy trip, and that was the first one. So
Was that the best trip, you reckon?
best one, what we did, Hong Kong, we did Cancun.
Cancun was
We
really
went to Thailand,
Yeah.
Darwin. You didn't do the Darwin one, did you? You left one.
Did
Did the first one?
the first one, yeah.
To be honest, I reckon almost the Darwin. Like, it's saying in Australia, yeah, Darwin was pretty good.
Loved, like, the last implementation was, like, if you go missing, you got to wear the Wes Wally outfit for the day. Like, what was one of the cleverest things or fun games that you reckon you thought up on these trips where you was like, a belt on?
So we had a cup for best. If you got best on, if you did something funny or you just pushed the limits
one day.
for the first day, then we'd have kangaroo court next day. Hey, Aussie was best on the day before. Here's a cup. He doesn't buy a drink.
Free drinks
See, it
from
tells you to
anyone.
fill it up with whatever he wants. You fill it up with whatever he wants.
Who held kangaroo court? Was it Coxie?
It would shift around. JK or I would do it, a lot when we first started. But then I reckon we lost the cup, freaking first night. So JK comes up with a great idea is put it on a belt and put a chain on it. So it's strapped to him. It would never be lost. Anyway, first night of the next footy trip, Masto wins it.
So, yeah.
Next, and he's the most oblivious guy of all time. Next night, I see him walking down Thailand or whatever. The chainers work perfectly. It's just dangling. His shins. This is a metal cup. His shins are
Bleeding.
pissing with blood. And he's just walking down the street. It's clanging against his legs. He has no idea it's there. I'm like, JK is a genius. That's so smart.
So we saved the cup, but Massa couldn't walk the next day. It was literally just, his shins were absolutely belted.
Funny thing is, still got the exact same cup.
Great.
And whoever wins best on at the end of the footy trip has their name engraved on it. Who do you reckon got his name engraved on it last year?
Masto. JK,
First win.
you finally won it.
Finally got it done.
Finally won.
That's been a dream of yours.
It has been a dream of mine since 2008.
It was really
I've always thought I've put in the best on trip and never.
So JK's not one for individual awards. I know he's a very humble guy, and as he first stated, team first, always, and I can vouch for it. When it comes to footy trip, and we roomed together those first 3 or 4, open about wanting to win best on.
Yeah.
Would be devastated if someone else got it the night before, and I could
And every time before the last kangaroo court, I'd go to Bart's, I go, mate, this is it. I've put in so much this trip. I've given everyone everything. I've done it.
And I can attest, we'd be going to bed late, he'd be getting up, freaking kicking me at 9 a.m. and going down the bar. I'm like, mate, you go. He'd be down there grabbing whoever he can. Not that I'm saying drinking is the only way to be good at anything, but
He created a new dance move this footy trip where it was just, who's there first, who's there last is generally a good representation of and who's done the best.
Yeah.
And I see JK in the corner with this hat on, he's got his glass on, he's just boogieing side to side. And he's doing it for about half an hour. And JK being this year was at Kalgoorlie, JK being JK, he'd just look at some random go, "Huh." And then he'd run off to the bar, get drinks and come back to him. So I don't reckon he's moved for
the king.
2-3 hours. He's just standing in this corner.
It's old dog mode. That's what the Lynchies and the Coxies used to do. They couldn't keep up, so you'd just be in the corner, freaking sitting there trying to get him in there.
Well, that's the thing. He's just bopping from side to side. And as the night, he progressively makes his way to the DJ booth, who's just getting closer and closer to the front of the stage. And eventually, someone must have asked him for a photo or something. And he's no, just dancing. And someone's pulled his glasses off. His eyes are closed, and he's just so he's been sleep dancing for the last couple of hours. Just has no clue. His eyes are closed, just loving it, being there all night.
So he got best on because of sympathy.
Oh, because he was just sleep
Felt
dancing.
sorry for him
It
the
was
whole
so
time.
good.
Mate, the worst one's when you maybe wake up for that freaking fishing the next day in Cancun.
We were in Cancun, and we organised a fishing trip.
Honestly, say it's the worst day of my life. The worst day of my life.
Throw up on the boat, dude.
Here's the thing. I don't want to talk about footy trip the whole time. But here's the thing. For any young player, don't organise footy trips. Because guess what? When you go to Nizzy and say, we need to do a unity camp, and he says, well, you're freaking responsible for them, you go and you have to worry about herding 40 cats and they're not killing themselves.
Yeah.
So we're in Cancun in the middle of Mexico, dangerous areas outside of the main area. Well, he doesn't know. We're losing boys left, right and centre. Freaking Tom Swift's in freaking 40 k's away.
South America.
Woke up on someone's front lawn. One night we get back and the boys are playing Jurassic Park downstairs because there was a bit of greenery around. They're making noises. The security guards are chasing them. They're running through the halls. Me and Joshy try, shut up, get back to bed. Anyway, he's organised a fishing trip with beers the next morning at 6:15. We go to sleep at 6. I'm like, are we getting up for this? He's like, we go to bed. I'm thinking I'm just going to go to sleep for the rest of the day. Wakes up 10 minutes later, drags me out of bed, let's go. I'm like, are you serious? I got seasick the whole day, it was horrible.
We caught some big fish, mate.
You did? I was lying on the freaking deck, next to you.
You rocking up to the airport in your club champs kit after having it the night before to go on the airplane to go on your footy trip was one of the all-time boss.
The media were there as well.
That was brilliant. And if you didn't get in the votes that day, something was wrong with you.
I didn't win that one.
Pivot, slightly follow on, but pivot a little bit. So you're organising footy trips, you're somewhat of a larrikin from Geraldton, you're obviously a hard worker, you've got respect. There's a point that you start becoming a leader of the club. There's a massive cultural change that happens after those 06, 07 years, obviously that you came in at the back of end of. 3 or 4 years later, we're losing a wooden spoon, and then you're basically, by that stage, a fully fledged leader of the club. Is there a point where you had to make a conscious decision to change? Do you feel like you've been the same person the whole way through? The way you present yourself to the boys? 'Cause for me, it feels like you've generally been the same all the way through, but sometimes from what you're perceived as when you were younger to what you are now is different.
Look, I've always tried to maintain the same. It is hard. I suppose you're always learning off other guys, from their experience, talking from Whoosh to Simo to Coxie to, these guys, Glassy. And I suppose you start to navigate your way through on, how you need to be looked at as a leader. Yeah. And for me, a lot of it was on-field stuff, I was a bit of larrikin and country boy off the field and stuff, and I feel like the dynamic and the setup we had as a leadership group, especially moving in when Glassy left and we had Shannon come as captain, and I feel like me and him were a really good fit for, I suppose, captain, vice-captain, and I was able to connect, I suppose, with a lot of the players outside of football, and Bunga was just that, that stern, good example of what, a professional athlete, footballer should be, and him representing the club in that way. I think I was able to kind of bring my strengths around, not only on the field and with the group as a whole, and help, help Shannon do what he needed to do as captain of the footy club. So there's a few things you start to look at as, when you're younger, I did that, I shouldn't have done that, you know what I mean? But over the course of the journey, I've always tried to be true to myself and, who I am. I
always wonder whether great leaders have made that conscious decision or whether it's bestowed upon them and they have to adapt, or whether they've made changes to become that, or, they always say the best kind of leader is a reluctant leader, which I kind of see you as in some ways, because you were held in high regards enough that you were pushed into that position and then had to adapt, I suppose. Yeah,
well, I think people go, oh, you're going to be a good leader, you're in the leadership group. It's like, well, what does that mean? Like, what do I do? Boys vote you in there, but I don't know what to do. I'm just playing footy and I enjoy me mates and stuff. So you end up becoming a bit of a, I think my role over the last 15 years really is, 13 in leadership group or whatever it's been, is just being a mediator for things that go on around the club and being able to help connect guys that are doing the wrong thing or doing the right thing and kind of gel everything together, I feel, I've never been one to just speak for the sake of speaking, and probably Simo's been really good in that sense where he's been able to recognise moments that I miss, and I think that's a big thing as a player. You play good footy, your teammates love playing with you. That's where you kind of get voted into that, leadership group, and then you show examples on the field on how to, do what you need to do, and then he was able to help me recognise moments that you just don't, you miss. You completely, like moments where you're either in a team meeting or you're on field and you're and you kind of go, oh, I reckon I should say something there. But it's not naturally for me to just go out and go, hey, you should be doing that. And then he was able to help me recognise a lot of those moments where you do end up speaking up a bit more. But I think that's the hardest thing to, when you go, you need to speak up more as a leader, I'm not too sure of it myself, you know what I mean? So why am I going to tell you when I'm not 100%? So, so different ways to lead, I think. And I think I found my niche in the vice-captain role where it wasn't someone where I, had to be this stern, stable force. I've obviously risk-taker and a lot of chaos in my life. So, but it moulded in as vice-captain and being able to, I suppose spread, that communication through the whole group, which, a lot of guys kind of found it hard to hit the whole group.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Over your career, there'd be ones on either side. Who are the biggest misreads when you think of an individual player? So say someone came to the club and you thought, this guy is going to be a 200 gamer. Like, this guy's going to be a superstar of the comp. Never got it running. Or the other side, this guy is so far from it. Like, what is he doing here? And then all of a sudden becomes whoever they became at the end of their career. Who's someone that really proved you wrong over the stage you've played with them?
That's a tough question, man.
Surely Gov's up there.
Gov and Gaffy. So the 90, what do we call them? The 92 boys. The boys who were born in 92. Yeah, rolled in that year in 2000 and end of 2010. So 2011 was the first year. So you look at Gov and what he, over the course, just a country lad, loved his mates, he loved his footy and was just this natural ability. But I suppose fitting into a professional environment was a bit hard for Gov to. So, we sent him away a few times. First time, I think we sent him away when Simo, that was 2014, we sent him away as well. But really, he's probably one where I thought, oh man, you start pointing, I was bad at your age, but you start pointing your head in, but the one thing, the biggest asset of Gov is his loyalty to his mates, you know what I mean? It's one thing I've always tried to draw off him, and be a better person myself, is the loyalty he has for his mates. So he turned out to be an absolute superstar. And I reckon Gaffy was one I looked at as a, body type. He's got a big duck's ass and he kind of waddles his way through and he looks sore all the time.
Yeah.
You're thinking, how...
He always looks tired.
How is that? How is that going to play professional football?
Yeah.
How is that?
I still look at him like that.
And he has played 250 games for this footy club. He's been an unbelievable servant for this club and done amazing things, and he still just ticks through. As much as I don't want him to break Bunga's record, because I'd love to see Bung hold that, but I don't think Bung will hold it for too long. I think Gaffy will charge straight through with the durability he's had with the duck-ass bum.
I had the former property assistant, Ben Cooper, hit me up with a story the other day, not necessarily about yourself, you'll remember Coops.
Yep.
His claim to fame, his best sporting achievement, he says, is kicking 6-2 on the MCG in the 2015 warm-ups to the GF. Thought it was a great omen.
He kicked 6-2.
Yeah, in the warm-up.
Why is he kicking goals in the warm-up?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? It was just his time. He was like, I'm out in the G, it's grand final day.
Supposed to be kicking him out to us, obviously, so we didn't have enough practice.
So he told me a story. Gold Coast came to town, and this is at Subiaco Oval, and Scotty Burns, normally West Coast like to get in there first in the CBD to run their midfield, like each team gets a turn in there, and West Coast normally go first, and Scotty Burns said to this mini property assistant, not a very assertive man, but he said, go and get the centre circle before they do. And Ben Cooper's packing himself, going...
It's not pre-arranged. It's dog eat dog, whoever gets there first.
Home teams generally come out first, so they get it, and then the away team comes out with 9 minutes left.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And Burnsy said, make sure that you do that.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh my God. He's headed out there with the ruck bag, and he sees, sees Matty Primus coming over, who's the midfield coach at the time, Gary Ablett, Bennell, Swallow. They all start making their way there, and if you know Ben Cooper, it's even funnier. He's just plonked the ruck bag down in the middle and just leant on it and said, you're not in the Gold Coast anymore, boys.
Wow.
Matty Primus has just stopped, looked at this little shrimp and went and turned around and walked off. You've won the game, and apparently Walshy, after the game, has pulled Coops aside and said, mate, that's your win today.
Wow.
Tone setter. Said, You set the trend early, and like you should be proud of yourself.
Wow.
And he is.
Wow.
So then
Held on to that.
that got me thinking, but man, of like some of the mental battles you're having even before a ball is bounced. And I think you told a story once of when you were doing the warm-up jog from one side of the field to the other, and the other team were doing the same. And you're like, no matter what, we're not moving. We're not moving. Even if they run into us, we're not moving.
Mental wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know like some other ones, possibly.
So when me and Joshy ran at the back of the pack onto the field, run through the banner in those days.
What's that like?
What's that like?
Run down the other end, and of the 22 guys, 15 of those guys have footies in their hands for the warm-up. And you run down the other end, and everyone has a shot at goal, basically. And me and Joshy would be at the back of the pack, and every time we'd watch and we'd count how many were goals and how many were points. And if we kick more goals than points, we go, mental win, we're on today. And if we kick more points than goals, we just look at each other and go,
Gonna be a hard day. Got to push in today. Got to do something special.
oh yeah.
What about the power song?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember it or not, but so Port Adelaide, they played their song, Never Tear Us Apart. And then basically as soon as the song's finished, they bounce the ball up.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the crowd goes off, they're all singing along, and then the big roar, it's Friday night footy. So we're playing there Friday night, and Simo, I swear, if my memory is correct, like literally we're running out. Like I'm at the back of the pack, and he's thought of this late or whatever, and he's gone, Butsy, don't be in position when the song finishes. Mental win. I don't want their crowd going off when that ball's bounced. So we go down, we do our warm-up, and everyone starts to break, and we're in the pocket, and like, boys, come on, we're staying here. I'm getting all the boys. Boys look at me like, what are you doing, mate? They're in position. The song's going. And I'm like, boys, we're staying.
Up the other end to I'm supposed to be. I'm like, mate, I've got to get to the square. Like I've got to run. I'm be inside 50.
Yeah. And so boys caught onto it. Maybe some of the other guys were worded up as well, but we stayed.
But I don't reckon anyone really knew. Like everyone was just like,
what are we doing here? But it felt good. I was like, and ball bounced up, and they're all looking at us, like waiting. We slowly jog out. It's so good.
Yeah.
Biggest mental win ever.
Did you win the game?
Mate, we always won Adelaide. Always.
We always been there.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, we did have some good games there.
Where's your body at, mate? So there was a decision to retire.
right,
Is this 100%? Is this 100% because of the body, or was it just I don't have the want or need to play anymore?
Because you guys suck too much this year.
Yeah.
No, just joking.
Mate, come on.
Sorry. This is your podcast. Go.
Nah, look, I had a knee op, probably my fourth meniscus on that knee last year, so kind of was getting to the point, talking with the surgeon, Greg Hogan, and it's like, we're going to get pretty close here. It's going to probably give you a little bit of grief, and that was probably a bit of the delay in, I suppose, signing and going another year because I didn't know whether that was going to be an issue, and then I still wanted to play. I still love footy, still love being around the boys, and I didn't think this would give me as much grief as it probably did. And then pre-season, it got real bad, and we're trying to do everything. And I think I was thinking, is this my last year? I just want to be involved with everything and train more and just be a part of it. I want to play every game if I can. And we always talked about managing games. Simo and Kof had always been a big one on that. And I was like, I just want to train as much as I can. I want to play as much as I can, and I just want to get through. But obviously, by the time we hit pre-season, I was like, something's really going on here, and I need to do something about it. We had some things that we kind of helped with it, and just trying to find a managed program that would work with it. I played I had COVID in the second game, but played most till about round 8, I think. So there would have been a few games in a row. And every week was just constantly sore and trying to jog around. And then, we kind of finished the Brisbane game, and then we're leading into the Melbourne game, and it was the training session we had at Optus. And I just doing my walk, jog around because I was going to jump in with the boys, and it was just completely sore. Like it was sore. And it was interesting because the day before, Lottie had said, "Hey, do you want to go? Let's go play chasey." And I was like, "Barb, I can't. I can't run. Like, I can sit. Let's play hide and seek, and you go, and I'll just try and find you." So I had these things going through my head, like, what am I doing? Like, am I going to be able to walk post footy? Thinking knee replacements. I'm 35, and anyway, it was really sore, and there was probably a few moments where I just stopped running, and I was like looking up, I was like, "Oh, this is it. Like, I'll go in, tell Simo, finished, I'll retire this week." And Anyway, I kind of got around the docks and we kind of drained it, took some fluid out, and I went back out there. I was still sore, and I was like, it's not working. I was like, I can't play this week. And that was on Thursday before that Melbourne game. So I had 2 weeks off, and then it felt good coming post that 2 weeks. It was still a bit sore, and then we kind of hit that mid-season break, and then pretty much from there it was kind of like, okay, I want to be able to get through most of the year. I want to be able to play 6 out of the last 10 games. How do I manage that with games trying to miss? And sat down with Simo, and then, we nailed out ones we were going to miss. And, it was pretty much, there was a 3-week block back just gone where I didn't think I'd get through, but I still wanted to be able to play at the MCG for the last time and kind of skip through that. And then, so I got through those 3, had that week off against Gold Coast, and now this will be the final game. So it's it is the knee is the big one. I think my drive and stuff to still play is still there, but more so realistic that my body's not going to be able to take me to another year or keep playing. And it's been tough. It's ebbs and flows. It's interesting. Like you kind of, as you get older, and but you probably this where your motivation and drive it's just sometimes, like when you're at your age, it's just like, what do I need to do to be the best player I can be? So you're just always constantly up. Whereas like when you get older, you're kind of like, can I be really this? Like, and then you catch yourself, you're like, mate, it's the best job in the world, go and push yourself. So, and ebb and flows, and probably you guys, the younger guys, I've just tried to draw energy from. Like you, Jake Waterman's been a big one. Like Snake probably hates me because I'm constantly, anytime I'm feeling flat, I'll text him or I'll look on Instagram at something funny and send it to him just to have some energy bounce back. And you guys have been great, you young guys, because it's actually pulled me through those times, I think, over this journey where I've what am I doing? Like, why am I playing? Like, I don't need to play. The team doesn't need me. And you just want to slip off. But, kind of got to that point now. So it is a bit of the knee, and it is time to kind of step away.
The best story of all time, in my point of view, is the tennis ball to the eye. Like, you're mucking around in the warm-up room. Butsy's probably down there instigating it. Coxie's gone you, flush. You got bleeding on the eye. You've missed 2 weeks. The best part of the story is Coxie got the 3 Brownlow votes.
Yep.
That game on the road against Western Bulldogs.
Yep.
Gave Ben Hudson an absolute bath and just dominated and got him over the line by a kick and change. Is that one of the funniest or weirder injuries at the club in your time? Because we were talking off air earlier about Warren Cofer, the strength and conditioning coach, copping an errant footy to the head. I don't know if you've heard this one.
Yeah, he got knocked out, didn't he?
Knocked himself out and then broke his ankle on the way down.
Yep. You know that? Teague.
I didn't know that.
David Teague had spiraled a torp into the group, hoping someone was going to catch it. Yeah. Pretty much sees part of everyone's like, ooh, this Kof.
Snaps his ankle on the way.
Knocked out, but he actually broke his ankle as well. But he was knocked out, so we didn't know that he broke his ankle.
Everyone laughed at him, thought he
completely knocked out.
Yeah.
Stumbled off, broke his ankle. Yeah.
And Kof is the grumpiest man in the world as well, so he would have hated it.
Taking the warm-up, we ran down the other end, and I was next to him like, he's got a big red face, and he's looking a bit, I'm like, you're right, man. He's like, what are we doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, my ankle's sore. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, had someone come over here and sort this guy out, mate. He was in La La Land.
It was
quite funny.
Is that the most unique one you reckon you remember?
Tennis ball one, yeah. That's we'd always play cricket down in the warm-up area at Subi, and we'd always been there, so balls would be flying everywhere. And Coxie was down. I think he was doing touch. And so there's always cricket balls around. And I was watching it. It was a bit of banter or whatever. And Coxie dropped a few, and then they were feeding the balls into him and someone else. And I had a tennis ball, and I just lobbed it. I lobbed it as it come through, and he's dropped the footy. And I was because they must have been counting how many to do to get out. Anyway, then I've started talking to someone in the doorway, and then as I've turned back, I've literally just Coxie already was like this, and the ball was like right here, and I've just turned, just gone, poof, like right in my eye socket. And I've gone down, everyone's laughing, I've gone, oh, it's sore, and then I started laughing, I was like, and I've kind of welted eyes, like all water everywhere. And Coxie runs up, and everyone's like, oh, you're right? I was like, oh, yeah, no, it's all good. And then, as I've opened it, I've just seen this trickle of, yellow. It's like a yellow, if you got cellophane and you just went like that with your eye, it just went all yellow.
Oh.
And I was like, and I just freaked out. And I was like, I got to see Doc. So I ran straight to Doc. I was like, Doc, I'm just seeing real yellow. It's like actually starting to turn red. And he's like, looked at my eye and he's like, oh, mate, we've got to get you to hospital. So had to go see, like, you go into hospital first, sat in there, the eye guy came in, and I'd obviously busted a heap of capillaries in the eye, so there was bleeding all through it, and they had to stop. Like, I wasn't allowed to move, so I was in my hospital bed. Boys were just about to fly out. They were going to Melbourne to play Bulldogs, so I wasn't obviously going to play that week, but I couldn't get my heart rate up. So nurse is pretty much like, just stay in your thing, feed you, we'll monitor you, we'll just make sure, and your eye just needs to, all dark room, eye patch, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so I was in hospital for like 3 nights, but obviously was there for the game. So I'm watching this game, and the nurse over the time was like, just remember, if you need to get up, call, like, you go to the toilet, just don't rush yourself, don't jump up, because if you burst those capillaries, it keeps bleeding, you'll lose your eye. And I was like, I don't know whether she's been, I think she was, I don't know whether she's been dramatic, just to make me,
gotta believe it.
but I was like, oh.
Still don't want to hear it, do you? Yeah.
Don't do anything. So I'm watching the game, and the game's like, tussle here and fro, and it come down to the last probably 5 minutes.
It was an intense game.
It was an intense game, and like, Coxie kicks his goal, puts us in front, like takes a big clunk mark in the thing, has his chest out, goes back, kicks his goal. We're in front. And anyway, things are happening. The Bulldogs are like, momentum's hit us. There's like a few seconds to go, minute to go or whatever. And then Coxie takes this like big clunk in defensive 50, goes back and then saves the day, pretty much.
Wins the game off his own.
Yeah, he did.
But in that whole time, so like I'm sitting there watching the game, it's like, whatever, yep, sweet. And then Coxie kicks a goal, and I was like, oh, yes, I've jumped up. Nurse runs in, hey, just settle down. And I'm like, oh, yeah, me eye. And then he took that mark, man. I jumped out of bed. I was like, come on, like this. I was like, and the nurse is like, trying to get me to stay down. I was like, willing to lose my eye because I was celebrating that hard. But yeah, Coxie, obviously, I wasn't able to play that week. I missed the week after as well. And yeah, he won the game for us.
It's a rip-off.
Mate, obviously you're a goal kicker, your job, your thing you're paid to do for the last 17 odd years.
Yep.
Impossible question, do you have a favourite? Because me as a fan, my favourite goal we've ever kicked is the goal against North in the prelim where you guys were getting spanked in 2015.
Yeah.
Simo references it quite a bit too. He knows how important it was.
Yeah, what's your favourite goal, if you've got one?
Yeah, look, it's hard to kind of go through.
Some of those goals v Carlton in that first final, you would have played.
Well, it was coming from Carlton, and then obviously going through that journey. They started making finals. They were winning a lot more than what we were. And then 2011, we matched each other in a second semi. So I broke my cheekbone. I got pushed. Jamo pushed me into Lockie Anderson and just like completely crushed me cheekbone. And then there was probably a point in the centre where I'd kicked the goal and it was literally chucking on the boot and it like kind of rolled through for a goal. And I remember standing there and I was like, we're going to win this game. And it was that one point where I knew, from the trade that we would actually go past Carlton, we made a prelim. So that was a bit of a special moment, I suppose. But yeah, that North one is probably more for the people who are watching, like you said. But people will go like, oh, come on, that's amazing, you great mark and you're so controlled. And like, I pretty much just jumped up and I was like, what am I doing? Why are you running? Like, so I've thought, I'll go back and fight, take the mark. I was like, oh, sweet, I marked it. And then I saw him, I was laying there on the floor and I was like, oh, get up. And then I took 2 steps and then it was like, play on. Crowds erupted and I've just gone, what am I doing?
Yeah. I'm committed now.
I'm committed.
I better go with it, yeah.
Why wouldn't I go back and have a set shot? Anyway, yeah, so I've taken off and I've kicked it and it's gone through and I've celebrated as if like, I meant to do that. But really, I was myself the whole time.
Have you mastered your celebrations over the years? You've got a few go-tos, right? You've thought about them. Just say you've thought about them.
I've worked on his.
So
let's talk about his. His were way bad.
So JK's done a lot of these ones.
Oh, yeah.
They're crackers. Like, you look at the crowd and do that. So I've tried to do it last year, but I've gone too wide. So I ended up doing this one.
Oh, you're doing a little bit of the Jesus Christ thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks so
So if you look at Oscar's first game, and he would have like the big this one, but he'd squat while he did it. So like I can't even get up, but he'd be like yeah, and like full squat.
Not powerful.
No, very
Stay a bit
petite.
upright, like you're just looking a bit awkward.
Impose yourself.
We've worked on that.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest thing I've taken from him, celebrations.
Right.
The Richmond goal, that was the best celebration you've done. last year.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Well, someone won photo of the year for taking that snap in the crowd. You know.
Yeah, did they? Yeah, it was.
Crowd celebrations, they've been a second half of the cricket. They're the best.
Oh yeah, being able to you draw so much from the crowd. But yeah, I think being tight in that pocket and then being able to just and then to look up and just see the whole stand erupt, and then that photo. The best thing about that photo is Cripper and Liam Ryan in it. So two Midwest boys, so Northampton and kind of Jura lads. So that was probably the coolest thing about
The best thing I've taken from that is that I now know that you forward flogs think about your celebration.
Absolutely.
One more.
Well, no, that wasn't a thought. It just happened.
Wasn't a thought. You've just told that you've gone through.
That's
with
me.
your fellow
That's me.
forward line.
No, he
But,
was
but
doing his celebration.
You've thought about yours before.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
You would have.
Thought about them?
Yes. Predetermined. Celebrate. These are my go-tos.
No.
Liar.
No, they just happen. Whatever the feeling.
Very good. One more. We don't have much time, so don't. You probably could take a long time with this, but don't.
Make it quick.
Off field. We've talked about businesses, but MS Society, regional WA. You spend a lot of time. We've spent a lot of time giving you credit today, but this has to be given as well. Do you have anything to say on that side, or your position in society to be able to do those things, or the benefits you've had?
We've been so lucky, and football is a big industry in Australia. It's big in WA, especially West Coast Eagles, and being a part of a football club, there's a massive audience, and you have a lot of people, I suppose, who know you and things like that. And one thing I've learned over my time, especially from the club and through other people, like Dennis McInerney's one who runs a car yard, obviously forward, and the ability to give back into the community is always kind of, guys like him have inspired me. Nick, what Nick does, his presence in WA and what he does for the kids and his academies and stuff, has always inspired us to do stuff. So being involved with the community stuff is something that I've always wanted to do, and been lucky enough to be involved with the MS Society and a few other things, and obviously starting up my own foundation up in the Midwest, the Josh Kennedy Foundation, which will be to help, I suppose, it'll be able to help disadvantaged youth kind of find what they want to aspire to, and then also helping them with the environment and surround them with resources to help them achieve those goals, even though that they're in regional areas. So I feel like there's always a big gap for regional kids and compared to the city kids, and purely just because of the big city and town and resources that are flowing in around it. So I wanted to have a foundation that can help bridge that gap for a lot of regional kids around to be able to aspire what they want to aspire to and help them achieve their goals.
All right, a few quick fan questions. We've got 10 minutes on the dozzer. This one is from J. Yells Mania. This is grand final, last quarter, down by kick, 30 seconds to go, 666, CBD. Who are the four mids you want in there, and who do you want delivering the ball?
Oh, great question.
Anyone? Are you talking about anyone?
No, you've played with them.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. I've played with my whole career.
Yes.
I would have Daniel Kerr. I would have...
Cox or Nick Nat?
Oh.
This is just for the one play, not who's the better player. Surely it's Nick to get the tap assured.
Ooh.
Dunno.
Well, you can pick who kicks it to him.
Yeah.
You'd rather Coxie kicking it than Nick put up 9-9.
If you couldn't choose that, you'd say Coxie because you want him. If there's a chance of someone kicking it,
I'm probably going to go
Nick.
I'm probably going to go Coxie. Sorry, Nick. I'll probably go Coxie in the ruck. I'm going to have Curry on ball. I'm going to have. It's a tough one between Adam Selwood and kind of Mark Hutchings because I know that they'll be taking out someone in that mix.
So you're going for balance as
I'm
well?
going for balance.
You're
And then I have Boots.
Real coach.
Boots is the other mid. Okay. And Boots is the one kicking to me.
Excellent.
Could have guessed that one.
Liam Murph 01, do you have had any contact with Juddy? Is there any sledging? Like, have you basically got a relationship with him post all this stuff?
No. I'd obviously know each other, but no, we've never really had a yarn or a chat or a beer about it all. I suppose one day we'll end up catching up and talking about it, but yeah.
Okay, easy. Three-finger Vishki, will you be lining up with Lecker at Cervantes or the Rams next season?
I promised Harry Taylor that I would play a game with him at Northampton, so there'll definitely be one game at Northampton. And then I have also said if Lecker came and played in Northampton, I would go and play for Cervantes. So He kicked 15 goals the other week for Savannah, so it'd be nice. He did.
On the 10-year anniversary of his game that Eddie had too.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you reckon he
turned
meant
it on for the day. Yeah,
Yes.
he's been barely getting the kick up there. So he decided to turn on for one day.
Josh Naden, odds of bringing the stutter step back just once for the last game. Like if you have, just one set shot, you're like, the crowd would go off.
How good would that be?
I know. Or if maybe for 100 points up, I'd pull it out.
Get on a long run up too, just stutter for like a minute.
Yeah, or just go for your 30, and then once before the 30 clicks, you just
Keep going, yeah, they can't stop you then. Yeah.
Regan, favourite beer?
I love myself a hazy pale ale.
Wow.
All right. At Candace, who would you like to hand the jumper over to next season if we don't retire it or retire it for many years? Who would you love to give it to on the way up?
I don't think anyone will ever wear it again, will they? They retired Juddies for about 4 years, so yeah.
I think that was more about Maney than Juddy.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Sorry. I don't actually know.
Give it to our number 2 or number 3 pick, you reckon?
They'll take number 5.
I would have given it to him, but he's moved down to 12. He's probably not come back up to 17.
I would have.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but now you said it.
So I'm set now. Yeah. It would be interesting. I don't know what they would do if they have a year off.
He'll be retired for a year.
Bit time to think about it, but I suppose we'll. I don't know if I'll be able to make a choice.
At Thumperlicious, great fellow, worth a follow. What's the most embarrassing moment you've had around the club, apart from calling Simo Adzi in a team meeting?
Oh.
They spun the wheel yesterday as well, so I'd like to know kind of how that all went, or, that was really what I'm referring to. Did you know that he called Adzi in a team meeting and it didn't go down very well?
So funny.
Can't remember that.
He spun it up in the wheel.
Oh, that very recently, is it?
Yeah, 2018.
Of punishments.
Most embarrassing moment. Look, being a bit of a, I suppose, joker, probably the most embarrassing moment I've had is, I suppose I can bring it up, but so he's standing there looking out at the pool area. So he's sitting there looking, and he's got Murray Newman, who's standing next to him. They must have been talking, and for some reason, and I've always, maybe me and Lek have always, we've just dacked people. Like, there's always been moments where we just dack people. And, I've come out of the players' lounge, I'm walking, I'm seeing the boys do their thing in the pool, and I'm like, and as I've walked past, I've just gone, it's a great opportunity.
Looks very dackable right now.
And I've dacked and I've just, and just walked off, and, boys in the pool like this, I was like, Anyway, called me in his office and just tore shreds off.
Fair enough too.
And I was like, but it was a moment where I've just gone, what am I doing?
What was I doing?
And I was so embarrassed that I did it. Like, Murray Newman been going through all his stuff, and I was a leader of the club, it just dacked.
Yeah. He's having a very serious conversation with him about his future.
Oh, my
and you've
God. That was probably
exposed
one of the
him.
most embarrassing.
Great form.
Yeah.
Last question, and this was going to be asked by Butts, but I'll race through it. This is, when would you have liked to have played your career? If you have 17 years, do you wish you would have played a little bit earlier to be a part of the key forward, one-out, Pagans Paddock dominance? Or do you wish you moved it all forward maybe 5 years so you copped some of these healthier contracts that are now being thrown around the AFL maybe? Or maybe game style, like you got 1 minute to answer. Are you happy? Are you just going to be a boring answer and say I'm content with this time I played? Or
Well, I think I've transitioned through different periods, you know what I mean? Like I've transitioned from the one-on-one to all these explosive players coming into the game, which definitely helped me with having delivery inside 50, and then it moved way into defence. You know what I mean? Which made it harder for forwards because you're not only battling your one bloke. So
lock in what you've done.
Lock in. I think lock in what I've done. I think I'll change it.
And that's it, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming down
Pleasure.
and being back a part of the action. Oscar, me and you every week, love it.
Yep.
One of our best episodes, I would have thought. Josh Kennedy, more words will be spoken in the next week or so. But you're a superstar, man, and thanks for taking the time with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for coming in.